Hello all. So today we will talk about presettable counters. But before going to study of presettable counters, let me tell you what is a debound circuit. So basically for presettable counters or shift registers, any such type of experiments, you need a clock pulse. Like presettable counters is also made up of flip-flops. So for your flip-flop, like you have a clock input. Similarly, for presettable or shift, you require a clock. This clock will be provided by a debound circuit. So first looking at what is a debound circuit. So debound circuit is basically a clock which can be provided using either two metal plates. That is called the mechanical method of making a debound circuit, or we can use it using softwares, or we can also make it using hardwares. So first looking at the mechanical switch. So now what happens in a mechanical switch, you have basically two plates. Now whenever you touch the two plates to each other, there is a clock pulse which is generated. But the problem here is if your metal plates are very sensitive, in that one tap of touching the two plates, or if you call it the key, touching of keys may actually cause the vibrations which will be multiple touches. Because of this, you will get a lot of pulses in that one single pulse required time. So the problem with mechanical ones is the output is not efficient and there is a lot of error because of these vibrations. Now second method is to create it using softwares. In softwares we may use filters, shift registers and algorithms to provide a clock pulse after a time delay. But again, then what happens is the delay varies depending on the length of your algorithm. This can also be inefficient and unnecessary wastage of time. So preferred method is hardware method using flip-flops. So what we'll be using is something like a SR flip-flop. You will have two NAND gates connected in somehow this format. So the output of this NAND gate, suppose I name it number 6 and this is number 3. One input is connected to the output of the other NAND gate. One input is connected to the output of the other NAND gate. So similarly, this is also connected to one of the inputs of this NAND gate. So suppose this is my pin number 4 connected to output pin number 3. This is pin number 2 connected to output pin number 6. Now I have two pins here, which is pin number 5 and pin number 1, which are also the inputs of your NAND gate. These are basically connected to a ground switch. Basically these are connected to ground, and via resistances they are also connected to plus 5 volts. I repeat, via resistances they are also connected, there will be a resistance here, to plus 5 volts. Now this resistance could be 1K or 10K, that is our choice. What happens now, understanding the working here, initially both of them, these two inputs are 1. Depending on the input value of, or depending on the output value of these in the previous state, the NAND gate works accordingly. For NAND gate, NAND output is equal to 1 if any one input at least is equal to 0. So in NAND, how does NAND work? If both the inputs are 0, or even if one of the inputs is 0, the output is high. This high output will be providing our clock to the presettable counter. So now coming here, suppose at one point, at one go you can either connect this switch to ground, or you can connect this switch to ground. So this way we will be, toggling between the two. So suppose I connect this switch to ground. As a result, this pin becomes 0 Now if this pin is 0, the output is high. This high output is fed over here, and already this is connected to VCC. So since both inputs are 1, the output is 0. As a result, this is again going back to this point, and till this output is low, the inputs are low, the output will be high. Now the minute I switch, so if I now toggle my ground to this side, now my ground is connected to pin number 5. So as a result, this output will become 1. This 1 is fed here. Also, if this is ground, this has to be high. This is connected here. So both of them are high. As a result, the output is 0. This 0 is fed back to pin number 4. So till this is low and this is low, the output is going to be high unless the next toggle. So in this way, you can toggle your output of each of these NAND gates between 0 and 1. So we will connect any one of these to our clock pulse, which will go to presettable counter. Now coming to our main experiment, which is presettable counter. So like in every experiment, we will first understand what does the name of the experiment mean. You all are very clear with what a counter does. A counter basically is anything which will count the number of pulses received. Or for example, even your Google watches, what do? They count the number of steps. So in a way it is a counter. Your counter is anything which counts, but presettable means something which is already set. Preset is something which is already defined. So in presettable counter, what happens is we can give the maximum value till where we want to count, or you can also give the value from where you want to start the count. So our counters are bidirectional. They can also count in upward direction as well as in downward direction. So you can go from 0 to, now sir, our counters, now these are binary counters and they are 4-bit. So the maximum value I can go up to is 1111. So I can go either from say 0000, 0001, 0010 up to 1111, or I can also go from 1111 to 0000. So our presettable counter can work in both directions. We can also set the maximum value till where we want to go, that is from 0000 to whatever you want to count up to, or you can also in down count state from where you want to start. So I may want to start from some value, say 1010, and I can go down up to 0000. So now coming to how is this carried out, how is the procedure. So first thing we need to do is look at the circuit diagram of the presettable counter. So basically we use a presettable counter IC which is made up of flip-flops. This IC is IC 74193, which is available in the market. There are obviously other versions also, 74192, 74194 and so onwards. But what we majorly use and what also our syllabus prescribes is 74193. Now looking at the circuitry, obviously you know every IC requires a VCC and a ground. Now this is a 16 pin IC, sorry, it's ground. So this is a 16 pin IC. So pin number 16 is VCC, pin number 8 is ground. We also have one pin which is load pin. Now load pin is used whenever we want to preset a value. So the most important pin here is load whenever we want to use the preset function. If you don't want to use the preset function, if you want to just carry out up count or down count, like from 000 to 1111 or vice versa, this load pin can be held at say 1, because each of these are active low pins. So whatever pins I am going to talk of are all active low. That means they work when they are held at pin 0. This is a binary IC. So you will only have two states, which is 0 or 1. When I say you hold the pin at 1, that means you are going to keep the pin at VCC, which is 5 volts. the VCC value is plus 5. There will be no analog values like 4.9, 3.8. You have only two states, ground and VCC plus 5, which is 0 and 1. So whenever I keep this pin on say ground, then I can set the preset value. Otherwise it will work as any normal counter. Now coming to how do I select whether I have to do up count or down count. So there are some pins which are clock up, clock down and a clear pin. So if I want to clear my counter, if you reach certain count and you want to restart again, you can clear the counter using this pin number 14. For clock up, we use pin number 5 and for clock down, we use pin number 4. Now, where do we see our outputs? So there are 4 pins which are our output pins. Now, because it is a 4-bit counter, you will have 4 pins for output. You can either use DMM to see the values or you can connect LEDs via resistances to get a better visual picture of your output. Now these pins are pin number 3, 2, 6, 7. This is the LSB of your result, followed by the next significant bit up to QD, which is your MSB. So my result actually will look like this: QA, QB, QC and QD, where QA is my least significant bit and QD is the most significant bit. We also have 2 more pins which are for carry and borrow. So carry bit is pin number 12 and borrow is pin number 13. So if you are doing up count and you go beyond 1111, the carry bit will come high and you will go back again from 0000. So like if I add 1 to this state, what I get is 1 followed by 0000. So that is why the carry bit will come high and the readings will start again from 0000. In borrow, if you have a borrow while you are going below 000, then again the borrow bit will raise to 1. And we have 4 more pins which are basically used to preset the value. So now if what is my preset value I want to use, suppose I want to start counting from 1010. So these 4 bits will be used to preset that value. So these are named as PA, PB, PC and PD. Again, PA being the least significant and PD being the most significant bit. The pin numbers are 15, 1, 10 and 9. Now coming to how and what do we follow when we want to go count up, count down, preset, and load will obviously allow us to do preset. So there's a table we'll follow religiously for this. This table consists of, first is pin number 14, which is your clear pin, followed by the clock up, which is pin 5, clock down, which is pin 4, load, which is pin 11, and here we'll write down what happens exactly in each of these scenarios. So I will choose 4 values for each of these pins, and whenever we give those values, what happens to the mode is what we are going to check here. So starting with the first one. Now suppose your pin number 14 is 1. That is pin number 14 is held at a high. Pin number 14 is your reset pin. I repeat, pin number 14 is your reset pin. As a result, whatever be the condition of pin 5, pin 4, pin 11 does not matter. Pin 14 holds highest priority amongst these pins. So this may be 0, 1 clock, this may be 0, 1 clock, this may be 0, 1. Doesn't matter. As long as pin number 14 is high, your mode is going to be reset mode. That means all your outputs, irrespective of how many ever clock pulses you give, all your outputs, that is QA, QB, QC, QD, will be 0, 0, 0, 0. Next, if I want to work in any of the modes, that is clock up, clock down, preset with clock up, preset with clock down, I have to make this clear pin 0. So next is, I will make the clear pin 0. Now, suppose I apply, I told you my clock pulses are coming from your debound circuit, which is pin number 3 or 6, you may use any one. Suppose I am using pin number 3. So these pulses for up count are given to clock up. I also told you each of these are active low pins. So I want to use up counter, so I will hold my clock down at high value because it is active low, and I will also hold my load pin at high value because I am using only up counter. I am not using preset up. I am just using normal up counter. So I go from 0, 0, 0, 0 up to 1, 1, 1, 1 and again back in the same procedure. So since each of these are active low pins, we hold them high. I am applying my clock pulses at clock up pin 5. So in this scenario, we will have up counter. Next, suppose I want down counter. So again, clear pin has to be 0. Now for down counter, the clock pulses which will come from pin number 3 of debounds will be given to pin number 4. The arrow stands for clock pulses. Your clock up and load will be held at high because they are active low. Now this will act as a down counter. The next is if I want to work with preset. So if I want to preset a value, this I told you is a load active low. So I will have to hold this as 0. Obviously clear pin has to be 0. Now when you are presetting a value, you can only preset it. It won't be in up or down state. So whatever is the situation of up and down doesn't matter. I repeat, हम लोग जब कोई भी value preset कर रहे हैं, what will happen? Up and down doesn't matter. Preset will only lock that value. Then after preset, you will have to immediately jump to one of these states for it to count from there or count till there. I am repeating what I just said. What happens in preset is you will lock a value. At that point, clock up, clock down doesn't matter. It may be 0, it may be high, it may have a clock. But for you to run it as from your preset upwards or downwards, you will have to immediately switch to up or down state, keeping this preset locked. So we will start counting from here in upward or downward direction depending on whatever you have set in this state. But immediately from here you will have to jump to that up or down count. So this is just preset. What it does is it is only locking your value. Preset is only locking the value. It will not give you up or down count. To count from there in upward or downward direction, you will have to switch back to one of these states. And the final one is if I want to just stop. The difference in stop and reset. Reset is going to make everything 0, whereas stop will just lock that particular value wherever you stop. So suppose I have reached up to 1001 and I go to stop state, my value will continuously be 1001 till I am in that state. Whereas what reset does is reset makes it 0000. So for stop, what you will do is, again reset pin will be 0. Now since it is stop state, I don't want to go high or low, and each of these is active low. So I will hold both these pins at 1. The pins are active low, so I will hold both of them 1 because I don't want to go up nor down. And again also load, I'm not presetting a value, I'm just locking the value, I'm just staying there. So preset will load pin will also be 1. This is basically your stop state. So this is about how we are going to work with presettable counters. Now I will show you how to perform it experimentally using the circuit diagram. Okay, so now coming to the experimental setup. As you can see, this is our IC 7400. So I have connected pin 3 and 4, which were one output of first NAND gate and one input of the second NAND gate. Similarly, I have connected pin 2 and 6. From pin 3 and 6, I have kept out my outputs in form of LED so that it's clear and visual to understand the working. And pin 5 and 1 are connected via resistances to VCC. So I have taken 1K resistances here. Now this is a wire, ground wire, which I'll connect at one point to pin number 1 and then I'll connect to pin number 5 alternately. So because of this, the output will change like 1010. From pin number 6, I am giving my clock pulses now to the 74193 IC. You can also give from pin number 3, that's up to you, but I have given it from pin number 6. Now before starting the entire experiment, I'll just tell you the quick connections. So pin number 1 is basically a preset pin. So I have connected my preset already because pin 15, 1, 10 and 9, if you'll see the circuit diagram, were to give a preset value. So currently I've just connected the preset values as 1010. So 15 will be 0, pin number 1, which is the second higher bit, will be 1, pin 10 will be 0 and pin 9 will be 1. Moving from there, you have pin number 3, 2, 6 and 7 connected to LEDs. This is 3, 2, 6, 7 in order of LSB to MSB. So LSB and then this one is MSB. This will give us the output readings. Pin number 4 and 5 are for clock up and clock down. Like pin 5 is clock up, pin 4 is clock down. So I will give clock. Suppose I want to do clock up or up counter. This clock from pin 6 will go to pin 5 and pin 4 will be high because these pins are active low, like I told in my theory explanation. Similarly, my load pin is also active low. So currently I am doing normal up count. So I have kept pin number 11 high. When we are starting the entire experiment, first thing what I want to do is reset. So for reset, this is my pin number 14. If you see the table, pin number 14 has to be kept on high. So I will make this 1, which is I'll connect it to VCC. If you can see, this inner line is VCC and the outer line is ground. Same goes here. In this, the inner line is ground and the outer line is VCC. You can see on the breadboard plus minus plus minus. So I've just followed that. So initially I have connected my pin number 14 to VCC so that the entire system gets reset. So even if I give clock pulses, there will be no output on this side. There will be no count. The reason being that my pin number 14 is high. Now I will connect pin number 14 to ground. And initially I'll do normal up counter. I am not doing preset right now. I'm just doing normal up counter. So normal up, what will happen is we will go from 0000 to 1111 in spaces of 1. I'll tell you the decimal count. You can verify the binary count here. So for that, I have connected clock to pin number 5 and pin number 4 is connected to VCC. Now let's see. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. After 15, I will again connect it. I will give clock pulses and it will start counting from 0 again. I have not connected carry pin because that's not required for my experiment. But in this case of overflow, the carry pin would have been high. You can continue this till how many number of times you want. It will count from 0 to 15 and come back to 0. This is our up count. Now looking at down count. So for down count, what we have to do is, I will just interchange pin 4 and 5. Pin number 5 will become high and pin number 4 will get the clock pulses. So what will happen is, we'll count from 15 to 0. So if you have noticed, whenever I connect my ground to pin 5 here, the LED connected to pin 6 glows and a clock pulse is provided, only because I am giving clock pulses from here. Otherwise, even if you give from 3, whenever you touch on this side, that is to pin number 1, the output would have changed. So now this is 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Now if I continue, I'll again come to 15, and if I had connected borrow pin, I would have got that LED as blinking. So you can continue this infinite number of times till you want to. We've covered the first 2 states, which were up count and down count. Now let's see how do you connect preset. So what happens in preset is, since pin number 11 is your preset and it is an active low pin, I will connect pin number 11 to ground. So this is my pin number 11 here. I have connected it to ground and I will switch on my supply. Since the input I've given is 1010, you can see the output is also 1010. So the D and the B LEDs are blinking, whereas A and C are low. Now since I am in preset state, even if I give clock pulses, there will be no change, because the output will be whatever is the preset value till your pin number 11 is active low. Now if I want to do preset down count, that means I want to start my down count from 10 and go to 0, what I'll have to do is switch on the circuit in preset state, which I've done. In this on state, I repeat, in this on state, you will just change the value of your pin number 11. You will connect pin number 11 to VCC like I've done here. So my pin number 11 was connected here, I've just taken it down to VCC. Now when I give clock pulses, I will have down count starting from 10, because that was my preset value. So this is 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0. Now similarly, I want to do preset up state. So for preset up state, first thing I'll have to interchange 4 and 5. So pin number 4 will become high and pin number 5 will get my clock pulses. Just a second. Yeah, this is pin number 5, and pin number 4 I will just connect it to high value. So this is my pin number 4. I have connected it to VCC. Now I will also connect pin number 11 to low, because preset is active low. When I switch on again, I will start from 1010. You will see that. Now even if I give pulses, there will be no change in the output. The reason being that my preset is still low. That is, pin number 11 is still low. If I want to count from 10 upwards in this on state, I will have to change pin number 11 from ground to VCC. So that's what I'm doing here. From ground, I am now connecting it to VCC. And now when I give pulses, I will have up count. So you can see that this is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And we've completed a cycle. you can give other preset values also. So since I had connected my 15 1 10 9 to 0 1 0 1, that is what my preset value was. You can connect it to any value of your choice and you'll see the output. But still, few things to keep in mind is, if you want to start up or down count from your preset value in on state, you will have to change your load pin from low to high and then give pulses, so you can go in active like up count or down count depending on the value you have given. And that's one thing. And also for 4 and 5, you can have just interchanging of wires instead of removing and connecting each time. So this is about presettable counter. Thank you.